What do you do when you've had a really rough day, or you're kind of in a funk, you're struggling with depression, anxiety, like whatever it is, even if it's something small, like you just had a couple of bad business deals go wrong, and whatever else is going on in your life, or there's some relationship is up in turmoil, or somebody passes away, or something. There's so many things that can go wrong in life. Even just watching the news sometimes can get people in a funk. I'm going to be really vulnerable here. So yesterday I had a really rough day. I struggled with a few things, getting things done that I needed to get done. I struggled with my motivation. I also had a couple of big business deals that kind of fell through. And then when you're talking about big business deals, that makes a big difference in many ways. So I was just struggling a little bit last night. I came home. My wife asked me how I was doing, and I said, you know what, I'm struggling a little bit. I'm going to be okay, but I am struggling a little bit. I was honest with her. And she kind of encouraged me with a couple of things, and I realized, well, not realized, I remembered there are a couple of things that you can do consistently, that if you build these skills into your life, you're going to be fine. One of the keys to business and life is not getting into a funk for an extended period of time. If you, like, I know people who get into a funk for like a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. If that happens and you're off track for that amount of time, that's when you're doing business in a way that kills you or that hurts you. If you're in a funk, if you can make that time shorter, because it happens to everyone, if you can make that time shorter, I'm talking like an hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. If those are your funks, all of a sudden it doesn't interrupt you very much. You can continue building momentum in different ways. So I'm going to give you a couple of things, skills that you can build into your life today, that or this month or this year, as you work on this, that you can continue to get better at. These are them. 1, surround yourself by fantastic people. Now, you can do this in a number of different ways. I initially, when I was getting into the business, when I was getting into this realm of understanding, wait a second, I can have control of how I'm feeling and how I'm doing, I paid for the help. I paid for coaches, and I paid a lot for these people. Sometimes money that was hard to come by, and I made huge sacrifices in my life in order to pay these coaches. But what that did was it surrounded myself with fantastic people who encouraged me rather than stole away from me. And they gave me energy rather than taking energy, okay? And that's huge. My wife is one of those people, but surround yourself with people like that. I've got a couple of clients who've become really good friends, and I spend time with them. I call them on a weekly basis to stay in contact, and because we encourage each other rather than taking away from each other, because there's a lot in our world that does that. So number 1, surround yourself by fantastic human beings. The second thing that you can do is make sure that you get back on track as soon as possible. I've talked before about taking action. Make that action as small as you need to actually take it, and then that's true. What I'm going to talk about today is routine, and I'm actually going to start a series here over the next few days about how to incorporate routine into your life. What kind of routines make the biggest difference? For today, what I'm going to simply say is get back into routine as soon as possible. You're on vacation, get back into routine as soon as possible. Even on vacation, stay in some kind of routine, whether that is some kind of physical exercise, whether that is some kind of movement, whether that is, I don't know, every day doing an affirmation or looking at your goals or visualization, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to take you more than 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, but make sure that you're taking the time to stick to routine at some point throughout that vacation or holiday. That's where a lot of people lose momentum. But if it's something like what happened to me yesterday, and I was just kind of in the funk, the best thing to do is over the next little while, make sure that you're getting back into routine as soon as possible. So I'll give you an example. Last night, came home, I was having a rough day, but I made sure that I worked out before I went to bed. And it wasn't like this extreme program. I didn't kill myself. I just made sure I did something with my body. What that did was allow me to feel a little more tired. I slept a little bit better. It puts me in a right place. The second thing I did was I made sure I got up early today. I made sure that I got back on track with my routine this morning so that I was up early doing what I needed to do. And then the third thing is that I took kind of control of my situation by making sure that I'm getting into the routine of recording these, of doing the normal things that I've got set in my schedule. So I looked at my weekly schedule, it's up on my wall here, and I looked, what is the next thing that I need to do? Just take action on that first thing. Routine is massive. Now, some people get into routine really quickly. Maybe I should wait for this for another video because it'll take a little while to explain. But getting into routine can be difficult if you try to do everything at once. Taking one thing at a time can be really useful. Again, take some action take your time with it. You don't have to take all action all the time, but getting into that routine can make a huge difference. All right. If you're struggling with something, when you are struggling with something, because it happens to everybody, try to get back into routine as soon as possible and start spending time with a couple of people that you can trust, have your back in business, that are going to encourage you in your business, going to encourage you in your life and your relationships, rather than simply going, oh, that's too bad, or whatever, telling you that you're in the wrong business, whatever it is. All right. Enjoy this process of engaging and building these skills in your life that are going to take care of you for years and decades to come.